As some of you may have noticed, BookTubeAthon is over, and has been over for quite a while, but that doesn't stop me from telling you how I did. This is my second BookTubeAthon video, and I will recap for you what I in fact did read. So if you ignore the dull roar of the lawnmower in the background, you will know that I read The Fault in Our Stars by John Green. I'm not going to show you the cover, because if you don't know what the cover of The Fault in Our Stars by John Green looks like right now, just type it into Google, and I'm sure that you'll recognize it. So I listened to that on audiobook. I also read this interesting piece called How to Get Filthy Rich in Rising Asia by Mohsin Hamid, and I think I finished that actually outside of the BookTubeAthon deadline, but you know, you win some, you lose some. I also finished a series, Shadow of the Giant by Orson Scott Card. This is the last book in the Shadow series that follows after Ender's Game, if I haven't said that enough already. I was quite pleased with the ending. It got a solid, concrete ending that sort of made the book before this, which I did really enjoy, a little bit more worth it. So, yeah, if you're into science fiction, and particularly if you enjoyed Ender's Game, there are a lot more books. A lot. I recommend them. We can have a chat about them if you want. But even though I didn't get to do as much reading as I would have liked during BookTubeAthon, I didn't finish as many books as I would have liked. I think it was a really great idea and a really great experience, and I'm looking forward to the next one, if there is another one, where hopefully I will be less busy and less in the throes of trying to organize my life and being sick. I've been really sick this summer with quite a few, actually, fairly serious illnesses, and it's sort of put a damper on things in terms of reading and life and school. But, you know, I'm back. Everything is fine. So that's that. And on to what else I wanted to talk about, which was How to Get Filthy Rich in Rising Asia. This is a novel done in the style of a self-help book. So each chapter is sort of a tip on how to achieve this magnificent wealth. And it takes you through the story of a young boy who sort of grows up in a village and eventually moves to the city and makes his fortune. But the thing about it is that it's all told as if the boy is you. So the text actually reads like, you feel this, and you go here and see this. And that I found to be very interesting and a little bit off-putting. Dave Eggers says that this book is completely unforgettable. That's what it says on the back. And I've heard that it's actually very funny and very interesting, and just a really marvelous book. I'm sure it is. I'm sure it was. I was a smidge bored by it in a way. I didn't really find it to be compelling. Like, yeah, it was a nice light piece of reading, but the plot was broken up by those chapters, which are the tips, and it was a little bit jarring because there were a lot of time jumps in it too. Every so often you'd be like 30 years further than you were last chapter, or 10 years, or a few days, and it was a little bit confusing, which is not to say that it wasn't good, but it wasn't as good as I was hoping. I wasn't disappointed, but I also wasn't thrilled. I think overall, I can't remember what I gave it on Goodreads. I think I gave it 3 stars. This is a 3-star book. It's good. I would recommend it if you want something to read. No, nothing further than that. Something to read. This is something to read. Which is upsetting a little bit, because I actually got to see Mohsin Hamid read from this book while I was in England, and he made it sound really interesting, but then again, I think the authors reading their own books always make them sound more interesting because they know how they want them to sound, and they know how they want them to be perceived. So if you've also read this book, let me know in the comments what you thought about it, because my thoughts on it are a little muddled and incoherent, because I was not really feeling this as much as I thought I was going to. But let me know what you thought and how you guys all did with BookTubeAthon. I'm really curious to hear, and I hope you're having lovely weeks and lovely lives, and I'll see you very soon.